Hello traders, welcome back to my channel. Today we are looking at broken structure. So it's something I did a post about on Instagram, and a lot of you did say you wanted to see a video follow up. So that's what we're going to chat about today. Specifically, guys, we're going to look at the trend line aspect. We're going to look at how I zone out, what time frame I look at, and how I identify when structure is broken. Okay. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, you guys. That would really help me out. If you like my videos, if you want to see more, or just like the video, leave a comment, whatever. And yeah, we'll just get right into it. So we're looking at the 4-hour chart. I'm looking at the Euro US dollar right now. So I'm going to go kind of back. We're not going to look at this period because we have been ranging a little bit, actually. We're going to go backwards. And actually, we have an example here. Okay, so this is one way to look at things. And really what I want to stress to you is that you don't want to be so narrowed in on your chart and your current time frame, right? That you're neglecting to see overall structure. Okay, so if we look at this trend here, we're trending down, right? Like obviously we're trending down here. Don't look at this side of the chart because this is all stuff that hasn't happened yet, right? We're kind of back testing here. If you were looking at, this area here or this area here, you would think like, yes, we are trending down, right? But if you zoom out, even on the 4-hour chart, you can actually see that there was a lot of bullish momentum here. And this can really be considered a pullback. If we go out on the daily now, and let's just find where I was. Yeah. If we go out on the daily now, you can see that we actually had a really nice push up. Okay. And after this kind of pullback, we continued on upward. So you really need to my point is you need to consider multiple time frames, okay, and overall structure instead of just being narrowed in. I'm just going to delete this stuff because I hate when I forget to clear my chart. So just ignore that stuff over there. Now, you can also say that on the daily chart, we were trending down for a long time here. And this is where we're going to get into a broken trend line and what that is, okay? Because it was broken. This is a really good example, actually. So I'm glad we started where we did. So what I'm going to do is draw in a trend line here. Now, when I draw my trend lines, you guys, I try to include as many wicks as possible, okay? So looking at, we have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I could probably make it so that if we bring it down a little bit, it's even more. No, this is probably good where I have it now. If we bring it down here, we're excluding a whole bunch of price action to the top. So you don't want to bring it down too far, even when you are trying to include all those wicks, okay? So I'm just going to place it there, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect anyway for what we're looking at. And this is a really good area for us to look at because you might think structure was broken here, but this is why you always need to look at the higher time frames and look at getting that confirmation, because this was really a fake out, right? Like it's just the wick that came up. We never ended up breaking the area there. So I just did a video on that. If you need more help with confirmation and price action and determining the difference between a real breakout and stuff like that, I just did a video on it Wednesday. So you can go look at that video if you want help with that. But down here, we can see that we did get a breakout candle happen, or a breakout of the area here, right? So price continued on this is the daily chart for 2 days, and it did end up pulling back underneath our trend line, but then it shot up again, okay? So once you see that structure has been broken, that our trend line has been broken, it's usually a good indication that you're going to see a market reversal. Now, I don't like to enter trades based on a trend line alone, okay? I don't trade that way. I trade using the zones, major support and resistance areas, and key levels, things like that. So I personally don't trade based on the trend, but this is something I would take into consideration. So after I've plotted my zones, my support, my resistance, whatever you want to use, you guys know I do use zones. After I've plotted my zones, I will look at overall structure. So if I were looking for, let's say I had a zone here, okay, and I'm literally just placing it randomly, just to give you an idea, okay. So just ignore, don't use this zone when you go to trade. Let's say I had a zone here though, okay, and I were looking for sells, okay. So I was looking for a sell at this zone here, okay. When I go and check market structure and see that this line has been broken, okay, that's going to indicate to me that this is not a good trade setup. And I'm not going to buy here either. I want to wait for more price action and see if this reversal actually happens. But that's how I utilize it when I trade, okay? It's just something that I double check after doing my own analysis. So that's really what you want to watch for you when you're looking at trend lines in terms of structure, okay? You want to make sure that on the higher time frames it's not being broken. I think that's where I'm going to end it, you guys, because I'm not going to make this any more complicated than it is. Like, it's really that simple. I know this is a really short video, but there's not much more I have to say about it. I do have a lot to say about market structure in general, but I'm not going to get into it in one video. It would just be too lengthy. So if you want to know more about market structure, I'm happy to do more videos and examples and stuff like that. But that is it for this one. So just make sure you're watching for the breakout of your trend lines. Make sure you're going back, you're drawing in your trend line, and considering this price action, okay? Even if you're a zone-to-zone trader, you guys, I don't trade based on trend lines. I hardly ever use them. I really only plot them to look at structure overall. So that's all I have to say. I don't make this any more complex than it is. Very basic stuff. And yeah, make sure to comment below what you guys want to see in the next video, and I'll see you guys on Monday.